everybody, it's Good Friday, so happy Easter. We have got absolutely beautiful blue skies. It's still quite chilly in the shade, but in the sun it's not too bad. I've come out for my cup of coffee now. I'm not really going to be able to do an awful lot in the garden today because I've got other commitments, but I thought I would give you a quick walk around the garden to show you a few subtle changes that I've made over the last couple of days. So let me just sip my coffee and then I'll show you. So one of the things I've done is I've brought all my house plants back out into the summer house as it's not so cold now, and they're looking nice, and that's made the summer house feel a little bit more homely. Can you see that blue sky through there? Let me turn the camera around. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's a bit deceiving though because it's about 10 degrees. A new change to the garden is this. I've put my trellis up. I've still got a post to put on the end to just support it, and my bistro table, which was really rusty, I took it to a local sandblaster who stripped it right back and gave it 2 coats of primer. And now, I mean, it looks like brand new, so I'm pleased with that. So I have this little seating area. Obviously all the pots will be planted up, and I want to grow something up on that trellis, maybe a honeysuckle. Yeah. It's Mr. Paddy. Sun on everything. Now, the next thing is to look at all my pavers. They've all been jet washed. That's all been jet washed. If I take you down here, these look nice and clean now. I've uncovered the seating now. All this is clean. Good morning. It's lovely and sunny. I've got a couple of hours in the garden, then I've got to go out. So I am going to sow my onions. I've got 50 Stuttgarter and 50 Carmen, which are the red onions. I'm not going to go into any detail about sowing them because I've done previous videos. So what I will say though is that I usually overwinter all my onions. I usually sow them around October time. They usually do brilliantly over winter, and you get an early harvest because of that advantage. But unfortunately we had severe cold weather this winter and I lost everything, so I'm starting over. I don't particularly like sowing them this time of year because they take up quite a bit of room, and that prevents me growing other things. That's why I like to overwinter, but it's what it is. So better crack on with it. These are So the next thing I'm going to be sowing are my shallots. I've got 12 golden gourmet. So this bed is going to be for my peas and beans, but I'm just going to do 2 rows of the shallots. I've staggered them to make the most of the space. They're going to be planted 1 inch deep and 5 inches apart. So my next task is to sow my peas directly into the bed. I haven't sown them in the greenhouse this year. So I'm sowing Ambassador. They are a Maincrop pea. They grow to about 75 centimetres, 30 inches tall. They require to be sown 2 inches deep and in drills that are at least, it says 2 foot apart, but I'm going 18 inches because I am restricted in this bed, but I'm sure they'll be fine. So I've just created the 2 drills. I shall show you in a minute. I'm going to water them and let that soak while I go and have a coffee, and then I'll come back and actually sow the seeds. Okay, so these are the drills. On here. So when you grow peas, you do need to put some form of support in, be it netting or canes with lines of string, but you need something for them to grow up and to cling to. They have tendrils which will wrap around each other so that they partly support each other, but they need something more solid for them to grow against. So I usually put in double rows of canes with lines of twine between, and that's usually good enough for them to support them. That's the seeds, and I'm going to show you how I sow them.